Did you know that in a recent survey, most people said they'd leave a website if it takes too long to load? Sure, design matters, but speed, that's what really keeps visitors around and shapes the user experience. That's why I knew I needed hosting that could keep up. Now, I keep seeing Hostinger show up in reviews claiming lightning fast speeds, so I gave it a shot, testing it with 2 of my live projects. In this video, I'll share what I've learned after a few months of using Hostinger, what it does well, where it could improve, and how it stacks up against other services I've tried. I'll also walk you through their plans and show you how to apply a coupon code to get a better price. So stick around, it might help you decide if Hostinger's the right fit for you. Now, let's get started. Now, if you haven't heard of Hostinger, it's a well-known web hosting service that offers solid features at affordable prices. They've got everything from basic shared hosting with an easy-to-use website builder to more advanced options like cloud hosting, VPS, and managed WordPress plans. So if your site grows, you've got room to scale up. One of the reasons Hostinger gets a lot of attention is that they're officially recommended by WordPress.org. And they've earned strong review scores on platforms like Trustpilot, and with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you can test it risk-free to see if it's the right fit for your needs. Now, getting started with Hostinger was easy. I picked a shared hosting plan straight from their homepage, added a domain during checkout, and within a few minutes I was able to start using the dashboard. There were no surprise fees and no unnecessary add-ons. Plus, if you choose a 12-month plan or longer, you'll get a free domain for the first year. So setting up my first site was just as smooth. I used their auto-install feature. With this, you can install WordPress in just one click. From there, you just fill in some basic information like your site title, email, and password, and then you'll be able to access your WordPress dashboard right away. I was a bit nervous about messing with DNS settings, but they have a step-by-step guide that's easy to follow, even for beginners. I was able to design and add content to my site easily because everything was easy to find, nothing felt confusing or hidden. Now let's talk pricing. The first one is the premium plan, which costs around $3 a month. It includes unlimited bandwidth support for up to 300 databases, and free SSL encryption for your site's security. So for most basic needs, this plan covers everything without feeling restrictive, and could be a good choice if you're launching a blog, a personal portfolio, or a simple business site. But if your site is a bit more demanding, maybe you're running a small online store or expecting constant traffic, then the business plan might be a better fit. For around $4 a month, it adds daily backups, more server resources, and helpful e-commerce features. This is actually the one I'd recommend for most people since it offers a lot of features for the price. For anyone needing more power and consistency, Hostinger's Cloud Startup plan is a good option. It's around $10 a month and includes a dedicated IP address, which can enhance your site's security and give you more control. So if you're going to be managing or working on a project that experiences regular traffic spikes, this plan could be ideal. I tested this plan on one of my busier sites and immediately noticed faster load times and smoother performance. For developers or more advanced users, Hostinger also has a VPS plan, such as their KVM2 plan, which costs around $7 a month. It gives full root access, meaning you can customize the server exactly how you want. It does require some knowledge of server management, so it's probably not the best pick for beginners. But if you've seen a plan here that sounds right for your next website, then you can sign up and get started with Hostinger by using the affiliate link in the description down below. Use our coupon code SITESTARTERS at the checkout page and you'll get an additional 10% off on top of the current available discount. Alright, now let's talk about the things I liked while trying out Hostinger. First, Hostinger runs on Lightspeed servers and includes a one-click Lightspeed cache plugin for WordPress. I tried it on one of my sites and it immediately performed noticeably better, even without tweaking every detail yourself. Another feature I found useful was the built-in Git integration. I used it for a small project that I was working on with a friend, and being able to push changes directly from Git to my Hostinger server made deployments smoother and much more efficient. It's not a feature you typically see in more inexpensive hosting plans, so that was a nice bonus. Security-wise, Hostinger covers the basics well. Their servers include BitNinja, which blocks brute force login attempts before you even notice anything. They also have malware scanning, though I'll say the reports are a little bit light on detail. Still, for most personal or small business sites, it gives you enough peace of mind. Plus, every plan comes with a free SSL certification, so you're covered on that front without needing to install anything extra. One tool I didn't expect to use but I ended up relying on was the staging environment. It lets you make a test version of your site so you can try out new plugins or theme changes without risking your live site. I've definitely saved myself from a few mistakes thanks to that. Just keep in mind, you can only use it on one site per plan, unless you upgrade to cloud hosting. Like any service, Hostinger isn't perfect. The most noticeable drawback is that their cheaper plans don't include phone support, so if you prefer talking to someone directly, that might be a downside. Even though their live chat support is responsive, but at busy times, you might have to wait to get a reply. Another thing to note is that automatic daily backups aren't included on the lower tier plans, so most small sites, for them it's not going to be a huge issue if you're just making occasional updates, but it's definitely something to think about if you're working on a site with frequent content changes. The good news is Hostinger does make it easy to set up manual backups or add-on options if you need to take more control. Now, if you're still exploring other options, let's talk about how Hostinger compares to another popular hosting service. One that stood out for me early on was Bluehost. It first grabbed my attention because of how well it works with WordPress. It uses the classic cPanel dashboard, which a lot of people are already really familiar with. So if you've used other hosts or you're running a WordPress blog or a site, it's pretty easy to get the hang of. Their support team also knows WordPress really well, which is a plus if that's your main platform. But after spending some time with Hostinger, I actually started to prefer its more modern setup. Instead of cPanel, they use their own custom dashboard called hPanel. It's a lot cleaner and more straightforward. I didn't have to hunt through a bunch of tabs to install WordPress, set up my own domain, or manage email. Everything was right there and easy to find, which is great if you're not super technical, or you just want something that works without all the clutter. When it comes to performance, I found Hostinger to be noticeably faster. Their Lightspeed servers gave me quicker page loads on the same kind of shared hosting plan. Bluehost is solid and dependable, but Hostinger had the edge in speed during my tests, and that can make a real difference both for your visitors and for SEO. That said, Bluehost does offer more built-in marketing tools and SEO features right from the start, whereas Hostinger saves a lot of that for its higher tier plans. So if marketing features are a big deal for you, that might sway things. In the end, if you're looking for fast performance, a modern interface, and a lower price, Hostinger is hard to beat. But if you're sticking closely to WordPress and want a little more help with marketing and SEO right out of the box, Bluehost is still a strong choice. So to sum it up, Hostinger offers solid features and performance based on my experience. If you're new to hosting, its affordable pricing and beginner-friendly interface make it a great starting point. And if you're working on a heavier project, the higher tier plans have the resources to support that too. In the end, it really comes down to what you need, but for a lot of people, Hostinger strikes a good balance. And that's all for this review. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, then please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more like this. As a reminder, you can sign up and get started with Hostinger by using the affiliate link in the description below. And remember to use our coupon code SITESTARTERS at the checkout page and you'll get an additional 10% off on top of the current available discount. Now, as always, I enjoy hearing your thoughts, so go ahead and leave any questions or comments down below and I'll try to get back to them as fast as I can. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.